For the wagon, you're going to need a glue stick, a pencil or a pen, scissors, and then you have 4 pieces of paper. So you have 3 that are brown and 1 white. Our white's going to be our last one we need. You're also going to need your little bag, and inside of this, we're going to pull out the 2 little sticks. Everything else can stay in there. We're going to start with the page that has the circles because I actually want to glue it and let it have a little bit to dry before we're going to cut. On this page, these are going to be our 4 wagon wheels. This dotted line, we actually want to fold along it. And it's not going to match up perfectly on that side. That's fine. Just fold along the dots. It is cardstock, so that means it's thicker. So I like to just kind of fold and squeeze a little bit. And then once I have it all done, I put it flat and then slide your finger along. The next step is you're going to open it, and we want to glue. I'm going to glue the shorter side. I'm going to cover the whole thing in glue. So it doesn't need to be perfect. Shouldn't take a long time. And I'm putting more glue than normal because we're going to be cutting it out. So I want to make sure that most of it is covered. So once you've glued it down, flip it over, press it down. Make sure you immediately press it because again, it's cardstock. It's a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to set those aside and let that dry. Next, I'm going to get this brown rectangle. You'll see there are 4 holes and we have different shapes in it. We have rectangle, squares. I already cut this. So what we're going to do is the same thing. On our dotted lines, we want to fold. This is going to be the base of our wagon. So the flaps, it makes it a little bit harder, but that's okay. Again, I like to start in that middle rectangle and kind of fold around that. And you're going to see where I cut, kind of sticks out, it doesn't want to fold. Press it down. And you're going to be folding around all these sides. If the cut is not all the way to that folded line and it doesn't want to fold correctly, just cut a little bit more off. I'm not cutting it off, it's just down to that line. So again, fold. It might overlap a little bit. And again, once you get the basic fold, just slide your fingers along it. So I have the main fold. You guys can see it's already starting to kind of look like a box. That's what we want. My next folds are these ones. So I'm folding those in. All right, so now it looks a little bit crazy. What we're going to do is we're going to put glue on these little flaps that we folded in, and it should start to kind of almost look like a box before you've even glued it because of your folds. And then what you do is kind of put these together and we press it to the outside one. I'm going to press it down. I have a little bit there that I can just pull off. Okay. All right. I'm going to let that one also dry for a minute, and I'm going to get my last piece of brown, and we're going to cut out these 2 rectangles. You're just doing your best, doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, when you're cutting, turn your paper, not your scissors. Okay, so there's 1 rectangle. I'm going to cut out this one. on this one, you are going to write your name. And then this one, there is a little dotted line folded there. This is actually so it's like our tow hitch, or what we would put our ox or horse on to pull the wagon. Now I'm going to go back to our circles. So again, these are going to be our wheels. So now that hopefully it's dried enough, I am going to cut out my circles. Just doing the best I can. If they're not perfectly round, it's fine. Like that one, I went in a little bit. Again, when you're cutting, make sure you guys are turning your paper, not your scissors. So the last step we need to do with these, I'm going to, with my pen or pencil, poke a hole. So all you do is put your fingers behind it and then carefully poke the hole. Don't hurt yourself. So you guys can see on the inside, there are little holes. And that's where I'm going to be putting the little sticks through. Before I do that though, I'm going to put my little hitch on. This folded piece, that's going to be where we connect it into our wagon. So you're going to put glue on one side of that little piece, and then stick it on in the middle of a short rectangle. Again, that would be where you would hook up the animals to pull your wagon. Then, this is going to be easier without the wheels on. Get your white piece of paper, and this is going to be the top of our wagon, or the canvas. So what we're going to do is, on one edge, just do a line of glue, okay? And then you're going to put it in here, but you want to put it above those little holes we just poked, okay? And press it down. Here's the tricky part. So that's connected to my wagon base. I want to glue this side down as well, but we're not going to put glue on this side, because if I actually turn it like I'm going to, it's going to flip over, which means I need to put glue on this side. So an easy way to do it without bending this paper is flip this over. So now it's like a little slide, and do the same thing. Put your glue down, flip it over, and then I'm going to slide this in. And just make sure, you gotta look inside, make sure it's above those holes, and press it down. Your hands are a little bit tinier, so it might be easier to press down the middle part. You're just gonna do your best. So we have the main part. Our last step for our wagon is we gotta attach those wheels. These are going to be how we attach our wheels. So you poked holes, you're gonna stick this through one wheel. Okay. Then what you're going to do is those holes we made with our pencil, you're going to carefully stick the skewer through. That's what this is. And then slide it through. You might need to look inside. Slide it through, and you're going to go to the hole directly across, and kind of, I like to twist it. It helps it. Stick that in, and then you can stick on your wheel. Our next one, same thing. can stick. Might be easier to do it where we stick the skewer through first. So if you twist it a little bit, just makes it so it goes into that paper a little easier. And then twist. Make sure you can see where you're going from the inside, so look inside. We have both our skewers in. Another way that I'm thinking might be easier to do our wheels so they stay on is, instead of doing our hole punch, we're just going to poke a hole like we did in our wheel or our wagon base. So I've done it with that one. You're going to poke a hole with your pencil. Again, carefully. Do not hurt yourself. And then we're going to just put our wheels on our wagon that way. And it should stay. Remember when they made wagons, they weren't super sturdy. They would break. It was all made out of wood. And the wagon wheels would fall off. So if your wagon wheels fall off, it's like you really were a Fortinator. You have our wagon wheels on. You have your little tow hitch. And you're going to put your sign on your wagon someplace you would like it. That way we know whose wagon it belongs to. Just make sure you don't glue it over your wheels.